It's winter time. It's winter time.
Keenan from WNYU here, and you just heard Sound of Ceres here in studio at WNYU. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
That sounded and looked amazing for those of you who are listening. We did film the set. It should be online, actually available now, since we are doing this a little bit ahead of time. But what were those songs that we just heard?
Yeah, those were 3 brand new songs off the new album. The first one was called Humaniora. The second was Gemini Scenic, and the third was Outer Century, all from the new record.
Yeah, The Twin, which came out, your second album, which was released October 6th via Joyful Noise Recordings. Before I completely jump into the interview, I got to tell one quick story. When you guys came in last year on the New Afternoon Show, I had, behind the scenes, I had booked you guys. I heard the music, it sounded great. And when we were actually doing the show, I was in the studio, playing the songs. I was actually teaching someone else how to do interviews. And so my mind was like completely tunnel visioned into the actual show. And so I saw you guys kind of setting up in the back, but I had no idea of the kind of experience or the show you guys put on. So all of a sudden I look up and there's the lights are dark and there's lasers and there's all these amazing cool things. So it was great that we did get to film it this time around so everyone can enjoy that experience.
Thank you.
So moving on, you guys were in here last time. Now it almost feels like you guys have been just constantly busy. The last album, the first Sound of Ceres album, was released 2016. Mm-hmm. Here we are now, The Twin in 2017, your second album. What have you guys been doing in the past few weeks? It feels like you're always touring or recording.
Yeah, we've been on the road since the end of September and actively playing shows since the beginning of August. We started very heavily early August with a residency in New York, and we've been on the road a lot, pretty much the whole time since August by now, and we're about to leave again and be gone for 10 more days, and then we're home for a little while to rest.
And the when and the where of how this album came together, do you want to explain a little bit of the production of it?
Yeah, we actually wrote the songs in spring of 2016. We had a couple months off from touring, and we did an Airbnb up in like Joshua Tree in California. So I had nothing to do all day, so I wrote some songs. And then we all kind of started adding parts over the course of the year, and then sent all those parts to Alex Summers in Iceland, and he mixed them.
And when you say we, is that just the duo, you and Karen, or is that all 4 members of the band?
It's the 4 of us, plus a couple other guys, too. Ben Phelan is our synthesizer guy. And then there's someone else that we don't even know, but...
Mysterious guest.
Yeah, somehow all these sounds appeared in the session. And
we opened up Dropbox, and there it was.
There it was.
Yeah. No.
And so, as you mentioned, the album was produced by Alex Summers of Sigur Rós in Iceland. And you wrote that was sort of like a pivotal moment going to Iceland. Take us there for a brief second. What happened? What changed in the process of The Twin?
Well, yeah, I like that question because we had kind of a complete album mix already. Mm-hmm. Which was our version, and then when we gave it to Alex, he really redid it so it became a twin of itself, which kind of informs the title. But he took a lot of our drum sounds and kind of blasted them through overdrive, so we had all these tiny little old like beat machine sounds, which are now these giant like crashing, thumping drums. He also replaced a lot of instrumentation with more like glockenspiel and stuff like that, music box sounds. And then he worked with Karen a lot on doing a lot of abstract kind of backing vocals.
And I saw you just released a pre-Iceland mix of one of the songs, I forget which one it was, to kind of give that, here's where it was before and then after the transition. Are you guys planning on releasing any additional tracks?
Oh, yes. We have one for Christmas this time of year. Maybe by now you've heard it. Maybe it's coming very soon. In the month of December, sometime, another song.
Yeah, but hopefully eventually they'll all come out and...
Is that where the original
world.
album title came from, The Twin? Is this kind of dual shift in sound, would you say?
No, it happened before that, but we thought it made sense after Alex mixed it too. It comes from the book The Magic Mountain, which I was reading while writing the music. And in that, the character's name references the twins of Gemini, and there's a lot of kind of dual identity stuff going on in the book. So, yeah.
It's kind of like you choose a name, and then once that's been chosen for you, your life morphs around it without knowing. So we chose this name, The Twin, and then because of that, all these things started to happen to make it so.
Yeah, you just start noticing things that relate to it. So.
Yeah, and now moving on to some of the more production aspects. Now, Karen, your vocals are very distinct, whispery, airy, and almost kind of complete the band's dream pop vibe in a way. Do you have any kind of singing influences or even any training, or is it more just sort of a natural fit with the music?
I think I've always liked singing. So, I've sang ever since I was a child. But I think the sound has a lot to do with just the group as a whole of what it is and what it should sound like, the breathiness, the airiness. But I also think it has a lot to do with this woman that I love, Luna Lovegood.
Luna Lovegood.
Yeah, so I think it is also inspired from her, and not just her, but the lady that plays her's name is Ivana Lynch. She is very inspirational to me. So, yeah, so she's not a singer, but she's out there.
Talks like that.
She lives in Ireland and anyone over there.
Carl's going to love that.
Yeah.
Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
We're here with Sound of Ceres here at WNYU. They just did a 3-song performance, and we're talking with them about their new album, The Twin. Now, one of the things I love about you guys is these layers of interpretations, these multiple meanings within works. Song names are referring to, novels and so much more. It's like a puzzle in a way, which I love kind of dissecting in a way. But looking at the lyrics for The Twin, I see you have a sort of mini collaboration there with this a sci-fi author, a favorite of yours from the UK, and I haven't really heard much about this. Do you want to go into some more detail?
Yeah, this guy is named Alastair Reynolds, and he's kind of the new space opera go-to guy for like the giant, big idea kind of sci-fi books. Mm-hmm. So I've been reading him for a long time, and we took our title from the first record from the name of one of his spaceships, Nostalgia for Infinity, and that resulted in us getting in touch with him, and I asked him to write a short story for this album just to go on the back cover. So I gave him all the lyrics without any other explanation and just said, interpret this how you will, and he came up with this really cool little short kind of time travel, like time loop little sci-fi story. Yeah.
Should be interesting to see. I noticed you hadn't released the lyrics yet to The Twins, so those would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Now, sonically, these songs are also kind of heavily layered with synths, vocals on vocals, guitars. Is there ever really a point where a song is complete?
No.
They're always changing.
They're
always
just due.
If Ryan could, he would still be tinkering with Hidden Lands, a Candy Claus album from 2010.
That's true.
So he will tinker.
It does feel like
away.
When we're making a record, like it's all, with the sounds, at least, it's almost like sculpting, because Ryan will kind of send us his like skeleton of the song, and we'll all kind of just write parts and send them back to him to do with what he will. you know? So it always feels like
I do.
when you hear the final version, it's like totally different from like the original thing you heard, because you've got a few other people also throwing stuff his way. So he's just trying to kind of arrange all that stuff, because not all of it will work all at once, because I don't know what Derek's doing or Ben. So it's always kind of like just a delightful surprise to hear the final song, like what goes where. Because sometimes Ryan will even take a part I recorded and use it in a place that I didn't intend for it to go.
Yeah, totally.
Or even
different.
like a different song. Yeah.
I do that when he makes me mad.
That's my punishment.
Yeah.
Swap them around. Well, that was beautifully said. The Twin is out now via Joyful Noise Recordings. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having
us. Goodbye.